Welcome to Light Body Wisdom with internationally known light body whisperer Grace Home. She will make you laugh and yawn as you release lifetimes of trauma and begin to feel much lighter. Your divine gifts may be activated, allowing you to weave light into the fabric of the world. Are you ready to be your own light and shine? For more information about Grace, visit graceghome.com. That's graceghom.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Light Body Wisdom Podcast. And thank you so much for being here. So today's topic is really timely. Autumn is associated with the lung and large intestine meridians in Chinese medicine. So it's good to start the season off by strengthening the lungs and the large intestines. Both organs are so vital, and there is so much psycho-spiritual stuff related to it. That's not the word stuff, but you know what I mean, grief, loss, but also inspiration in the large intestines, as you know, getting rid of what you no longer need. But the lungs is also about that too, right? Because as you inhale, you have to be able to exhale, to inhale. Yeah. And so this idea of grief and loss and grieving what can never be, and grieving, maybe even grieving what you were given, because sometimes we are being given things that we don't really want. And that in itself can create grief, right? Like nobody wants to have a disease or an illness. And being given that to deal with can cause a lot of grief because it's not what you choose. And so let's just bring that up for a moment. And everywhere where you're grieving what you're given, the things that you are given to deal with in life that you don't want, that's causing you to feel sad, to grieve what you cannot have, right? Because like for some people, if you are now dealing with a failing business or debt or bankruptcy, that's a lot to deal with. So that's also a loss, right? Loss of what you wanted, a successful business. So losing out on the success that you could have. And some of you may be given illnesses to deal with. And that means you grieve the other possibilities that could have shown up in your life but didn't, right? So for some of you, living in a totally healthy body, full of vitality, full of energy, was just not something that came easy, or it's still something you struggle to have. Right? So bring up all those conditions in your life that's causing you grief and feeling a loss of the dream life you could have, a loss of the success you want to have, a loss of a certain identity, right? Because if your business isn't working, your identity as a successful business person isn't there. So everything that you think you lost, yeah, even, oh, God bless you, losing a loss of a child you wanted to adopt. Oh my goodness. Oh. So let's bring up all the losses in life that we can now just release the energy of, so that it frees you to create. That's why we're healing grief, loss, sadness, because by being in touch with it and by not solidifying the energy around loss and grief, it frees us to have other experiences in life. Oh, whatever that may be in life, bring all that up, everybody. Oh, and let that just gently be released. Release all that gently. Oh, yeah. And something about this year where we're all grieving the loss of whatever normal was. Some of you may have had a good normal, but now it's even worse, right? So losing, grieving over things that just disappoint you in so many ways. Oh. Komaratino katika komakarona tano kata komaraka tamaraki komakaka komakiki ko kamariko karakadiko. So we gotta just allow all that to come up and be released, allow the density of it to become more spacious so that you can heal. Komakamaraka komratika marakatkika komakikiko natikako natikokatinako. And some of you may be grieving the loss of a dreams. You may have abandoned your dreams, abandoned yourself, or there's deep abandonment in your life. However, abandonment shows up. Oh. Komakata no karetukaka, konakati no tukaki, kanakoko, kanakiki matukaka, konakarikoka, matakoretika, makaratako, maravitikika, chimokake, mokaragatika, konakatika, morakarkaratika, homarakaramutika, homaratina koretika, ratina koretika, komakiki matukaka, porakaritika, kamakaki. And now checking in with the large intestine meridian, the things you force yourself to hold on to that you need to lose. Because sometimes we keep on holding on to things for too long, right? That we need to let go of. And it's hard to get rid of things. Like people who are hoarders, there's a lot of pain and trauma in their lives that they couldn't control. So what do you need to let go that would allow you to create more in life? Sometimes it's relationships. Sometimes it's a business that's not working. Sometimes it's a job that's going nowhere. Sometimes it's just letting go of all the lies we buy into about what a successful life is. Yeah, sometimes it's letting go of control, thank you, and surrender, right? So tap into what it is that you need to let go, that by holding on to it, you're actually creating more problems. And you may know what that is for you. And that helps you to let go of extra weight as well. Oh. Komakaka, komakaka, korataka, komakaka, majika, komakakika, komakakika, paragatkika, mararatkika, komakaki, komachinakaka, tomarakanokakakika, mokakakika, mararatunachikika, mararatkika. And in tuning into this wonderful group of people, you guys, Many of you are actually processing lots of grief and grieving that's going on in the world. So some of it is vicarious traumas and vicarious grief. Oh. 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 So those of you who are trying to heal everyone, let's let go of all the vicarious trauma that you're holding on to and processing for the world that you don't even know. And sometimes your body acts up in ways that you don't even realize. It's about healing the collective trauma. Like a while ago, my allergies really acted up, and I thought, wow, I thought I was over with allergies and stuff. And then I had a healer friend work on me, and it turns out that all the things that are going on in the world really get to me. And that's true with every empath. Like, we can never be not affected by what's going on in the world, and that's okay. That's what allows me to tune into what's going on in the world, right? So all the empathic stuff, all the empathic sadness and grief, because there's a lot of loss around the whole world. Like, I know that with all the fires that are going on in the west coast of this country, there's a lot of loss and grief. You know, and what we do to the environment, we are losing so much, yeah, in the environment, we're losing so much. And for those of you who are really working to heal the earth, and you tune into the loss of all the trees, that's a lot of loss. So let's clear that. Oh. The losses that create challenges with the ecosystem, biodiversity. Yeah, biodiversity is a huge loss. The animals are losing their homes. And I know that the earth will regenerate. The earth is powerful and will heal and regenerate. But still, there's a lot of loss going on. And let's see how else this is showing up. Let's clear all the losses, the energy. Oh. Yeah, there's fires, there's flooding, there's hurricanes. So we can feel into all that loss, however that's affected you, and however your body is processing all the loss in the world. Let's clear all that. Oh. And for some of us, there may just be a couple things in your life that you really deeply regret, that you feel like you can't have a redo, and you regret not making a certain choice, you regret not having said something to someone you love, you regret letting go of a relationship, a loved one, all that, those regrets, choices. whether that resulted in the loss of health, finances, stability. And a deeper loss is this loss of an identity that you think you lost, but you can always recreate a new identity that allows you to feel powerful, successful, totally resilient, and totally allowing of more success in your life. So, I really like the work of a psychologist named Carol Dweck. I think that's how to say her last name. It's Dweck. And Carol did research on mindset. And I love what she said about the growth mindset. The growth mindset, when you are confronted with loss, you don't feel so much regret because you know you have the ability to create more and keep on growing and keep on challenging yourself, right? So if you adopt a growth mindset that allows you to see more possibilities beyond the loss, and that whatever you lost, you can create better in the future, create better and better in the future, right? So you are all capable of adopting a mindset that says, regardless of what you lost, you can always find more healing, loving, kind relationships. You can always create more money, more success, more joy. And if the loss is in health, you can always learn to create better choices that allow you to feel healthy and be healthy. So, and I love all that research that Carol Dweck does on the growth mindset. It's such wonderful work. It's so life enhancing to adopt that mindset. And so while we let go of the losses, know that whatever you lost, you can find a different way to create more for yourself. You definitely can find a better and better way to create more for yourself. Yeah. And, there's also the idea that whatever you lost, if you were meant to have it again, it will find its way back to you again. But if you were not meant to have it in the first place, then it was a good loss. It was never meant to be in your life. So that's another interesting way of looking at loss that does not create you to be a victim of situations and stuff, Oh. So now I'm just going to clear all the trauma that we hold on to in our upper body, especially in the whole mesentery system. That's the new organ that was discovered in 2018, and that's the band of tissue that contains interstitial fluid in your upper body. That's the mesentery is in the abdomen, but I'm going to work on the interstitium first. I'm sorry, I meant the interstitium that contains the interstitial fluid in the upper body. And we want your upper body to be free of old traumas, and this is especially helpful for the lungs, especially helpful to clear stuff around the lungs, the heart, and so on and so forth. So here we go. Kamotoka nakotoka, komoraki nakoka, ki kokomotokaka, komaka ko komaka ki komara ko karanjukaka. Itumoka kumakikika, itumoka kumatikika, itumoka kumatakaka, machukoka kamakakika, tomatakika, 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 nokanakika, komakakika, makaratonokaka, chamakaka, marakikiki, marakaka, kamakaki, matatakika, kumakara, ranako, kamakiki, chomachakatona chikaka. Aronaki makaka marakike natika kimaraka kamatika komataki kanatika kanokari to matika komakarara natika komatikika amoraka nyakoga make maka 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 makikeka komarakika komakakika moticha machaka parakika rokana karoka kikika rokana karikika mokanatika Ikanakona kika, parakachika, tomatikina, karaki, marakakajal machakika, kumakika, marakakika, machakakaka, marakakika, rationakika, argonakaki, kumaka mora netkoka, rationakaya kamakaka, mara, chenakorganachkaka, porakaki, porkimarkaka, komatikoronachka, komachikika. So that clears a lot of stuff from the band of tissue that's holding the upper part of our bodies together. And now we're going to go to the mesentery. It's also considered a new organ. And again, the mesentery and the interstitium were both discovered. They were always there, but they were declared organ systems in their own right in 2018. So only 2 years ago, we had 2 new organ systems. Okay, so here's clearing stuff from the mesentery, and that's highly connected to the enteric nervous system, by the way. So that also contains lots of trauma to your body, emotional trauma, all kinds of trauma. Kumakaboro nakakoreka kamachika kanako kanakotichika mora matakaki kanakarichika rora nako kanakarichika kanakarichika konachika rachuna karkaki rojanaka kanakaka marakachika komakaki kamarachika mokakarota nichuna karkika konakarichika marakaranachika po Boka kanaki kanakarichi kanakarichika Mokina koka, mokina kaka, mokina kona karichika, pori nikika, kona katika, kona titika, kuma katina kokake, kuma katina kaka, kamakako, tinatichi, kona rakamara yikika, pora kariku, tinatikika, tuna kakika, tuma kakika, tuna takayika, kona kararota, narora, nichikoka, kina toki, poka kaka, kanatichika, komaka, koma kaka, kanatikoka. And by clearing all those old issues, by clearing all the grief or the sadness from your tissues or the traumas from your tissues, then you will become more spacious, and that allows you to create more and receive more from life, right? Just like every time I clear a room in my house or my home, new things come in, and allow the universe to send you what fulfills you. So let's just be in alignment with receiving that which is fulfilling. Kumaki karaoke maka maka. Kumaka tonaga tonarkatika kamaka. Tona tonarkatika karata tonajika. Lukanakika karantiskika kamakatazika. Kamaki kamoka kamoka kamatakarika. Tumaritita no karitika ko kanakasikika. Kara kaka kanakachi tumataka kamantika kamoki. And if there's any past life traumas that are still stuck in your system, let's clear that from your energy, from your DNA, and even heal that part of your Akashic records that contains lots of loss and grief. Komaka komaka kokara karkara kokanan kokachana kakika kamaka. Chomaka komaraka kikana or karanika kokanaka kachika. Komaka kino karakati komataka kikanora. Makamaki makamaki makamakika. Komakakika, Martin Chikika, Nora, Nadanet Kokachika. Oshimoko makika, Ponakarika, Mararika, Chumarakika. Ishimaka Richikika. Kukamara, Ranajika Kamorachiki, Kamakaka, Ranajikika. Kukaka, Karachiki, Kamakaka, Kora, Koko, Karagachiki, Kamori, Nichika, Kamachika. And then the collective traumas that you are all tuned into because you're so empathic, or the traumas in the collective subconscious. Kumakaro rako karakako kanachiko chanatwa ranjiko kwargachiko kamarkiki, kumakiki kamako radnakoki and nachukokika, mora, nachiko karakachika konchika. And then the loss of a sense of self that I'm getting, like some of you when you were young, you were just really vibrant, full of life, full of big dreams, full of big possibilities. And then somehow life hits you and you buy into too many limitations, right? So we're going to clear all that and know that you can gently allow for greater and greater possibilities. And of course, all of you here already have a growth mindset. Otherwise, you would not be here at all and be open to new possibilities. And think about the few things you can do today to reaffirm for yourself the amazing self that you actually never lost, that's always with you. Your higher self, your inner child, all the resources. You have never really lost you. You have only gained more experience and more wisdom. Right? You have only gained wisdom and experience, and everything that you've been through was solely guided to remind you of the beautiful, exquisite, infinite being that you are. Your soul is always guiding you back to that which is your highest and best. Even the traumas you've been through in life, you were guided to experience some of that, right? In order for you to unlock even more potential. Kamakaro no kachukaka nachukaka marakachika, kamakakom nachikakom. Amoke monakariki, momakadona, chikakoti chikaka, komakako, and chikoko, kanachiki, korakarkoka, kanakachika. All right, so in the next session, next week, part 2, we will work on finding your way back to reclaiming what you never lost. So, part 2 next week. I will see you next week. Thank you for shining your light and weaving grace into the fabric of the world. For more on my work, please visit gracegharm.com or lightbodywisdom.com. Thank you and namaste.